Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday edition of our leadership call. My name is Miriam Kareem, and I'm so happy to have you all here so we can learn and grow, learn how to build our businesses from none other than the amazing Coach Will Sanders. First, a quick trip to the newbie corner. So, one thing that struck me today was whenever you have adversity, you always want to try your best to stick to the rituals and things that you do on a daily basis that's going to help you build your business. And sometimes, like when you do things, things can be off or what have you, but it's really, really good to stick to a routine and remain consistent because whether it's a weight challenge or whether it's, and Coach Will talked about this last week, that you're going to have challenges. But the amazing thing about it is that when you stick to that daily ritual that you have, it makes it a lot easier. And I'm finding that it makes it so much easier to get through your day. And you feel so energized when you're reaching out to people, whether it's in person, on the phone, or text, what have you. And I'm seeing so much more now. What Coach Sonic always says: find out what is it? Find a need and fill it, and find a heart and heal it. And I'm finding so many people that have a need for these amazing products. So you guys, you know, as Coach Charlotte says, open your mouth, say something, meet a person and just get to talking to them. You will never know. And they usually will tell you something if something is really going on with their health. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you out to our teacher tonight, Coach Will Zanders. He is a multiple seven-figure earner in the network marketing world, a seven-figure earner at our Green Organics company at HBN, and our first six-figure earner at Golden Sun. An amazing, amazing teacher. Always knows how to get your business to where it needs to be, and just has a great perspective and really making you think, and it makes you feel like he's talking straight to you, just you. So that being said, Coach Will Sanders, are you available, sir?
Miriam, I am glad and thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to join you, Coach Marcus, and everybody in our organization on these calls. It's really one of the highlights of my week is just being able to pour back into people and pour into the industry that has been so good to me and my family, which is why I believe in it so much. We want to welcome all of our guests tonight. For all of our guests who want to call, thank y'all for tuning in. For everybody who's been with us for a little while, y'all know the drill. Paper and pen, got some great notes for you this evening. But let's open it up in the chat. Let's look for 2 or 3 wins. If anybody had some wins over this weekend or even last week, if you have any wins and you just want to put a short statement about some wins in the chat, put those in the chat. We want to start off the call on a positive note and have some wins there, so we can go into Monday with the positive energy, with that positive vibration. We did last week, we got some wins. We might as well get some more wins this week. So go ahead and type those in the chat if you have a couple of wins or even one win that you want to share, and I'll read 2 or 3 of them for the recording. And while people are putting those in the chat, we'll talk about Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. January 2026 is going to be the craziest Vegas event we've had yet. I'm super excited about it. It is it's for everybody. The in-person tickets are sold out at this point. We do have a wait list for that. The VIP tickets are sold out. We have a wait list for that. But even attending online, grab a ticket even online. It is going to be better than any other information that you're going to get in the network marketing space, specifically to build this particular business to the 5, 6, and 7-figure level and beyond. So should you so choose. Okay, let's read just a couple of these wins. Coach Charlotte just got off the call with a good prospect. Well done. Sheflo says his job gave him access to a state-of-the-art gym that's on site for free. Love that. And free personal trainers. Love that. Crystal's Go-Go Sticks came in the mail and she's enjoying them. Welcome. Betty Chandler had a 6-month checkup. I know that went well and ended up selling the doctor a sinus Go-Go Stick. Well done. Jessica woke up this morning. That's a win for everybody. shared the oils to a coworker sister. That's how it goes. You meet friends, you make friends, and then you meet their friends. Well done. Linda said she had a random purchase on her HBN side. Isn't that fun? When you just don't know where your link has been at, where the drop cards went, who went where, what email went where, and people just buy. You don't know where they came from. That is such a win. Dr. Dorothy said she hit HBN executive. Well done. Coach Marcus said his last order from GoDasana was delivered 2 days early. I love that. You can't beat that. Let's do 2 or 3 more. Natasha says her sister and the family's been enjoying the go-go sticks, right? And she finally wants to build the business. Well done. We're working with people on their time. Okay. Gina's in positive communications with 5 different prospects. Well done. Customers and a prospect. Well done, Gina. Team Stone got 2 auto ships and a follow-up reorder. Of course they did, because that's Team Stone. Miriam, our hostess with the mostest, gave out a bottle of black seed oil, and in turn, she got 2 prospective customers. Well done. Coach Seymour Greenridge Blake down 5 pounds since Nashville. I'm not surprised. Rick Burnett right here. This is a good one. This is fun. Rick got a payout from Facebook for harvesting his data. Man, we all need to get those, Rick. We all need to get those. All right, so we could keep reading those, ladies and gentlemen. But let me do, all right, we'll do 2 more. This is my favorite part. Honestly, it's my favorite part. Let me do 2 more. Let me do 2 more. Roz Mayo is continuing onboarding her new team member. Well done. Onboarding is the most important part of sponsoring anybody. And then last but not least, Richard Fritzler. We could do some more, but for time purposes, Richard Fritzler right here says he got a couple of unexpected team members showed up on the GoDasana side. We got a lot of unexpected stuff. Rasan, same thing, just some unexpected stuff just popping up going on. And I love to hear that. And again, when you have that positive mentality long enough, well, thank you, Dr. Dorothy, you start to kind of expect things like that to happen. And we'll be talking about that tonight. So before we get started, do I have your permission as a group to be ridiculously, pathetically honest with y'all about success in this business tonight? Can I just be brutally honest with y'all about success? Because some of the stuff I'm gonna share, it may sting a little bit, but we're gonna keep it positive for sure. But it's the type of stuff that'll set you free. Now, how many people know that in order to fall asleep, you have to first pretend to be asleep? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. You know when it's time for you to go to sleep, you actually have to pretend to be asleep. Like you got to close your eyes and act like you sleep. That makes sense? Do y'all agree with that? Do you understand that's how everything else works too? Everything else works that way. You have to act before the result shows up. That's something even parents know with a baby. Just look, what you tell your kids? Just close your eye, be quiet, close your eyes. You're teaching them that, but we forget that at some point. Okay? In order to fall asleep, you have to first pretend to be asleep. That's how everything else works too. Okay? So that being said, you have to start to shift mentally to a state where you are okay with the result and okay without the result. It is that detachment, the positive and negative, the detachment is where the power comes from in the battery. Now, we don't have time to cover that tonight. We covered it for 2 weeks in a row. Does anybody remember the process that we go through to identify the positives and the negatives about our current situation? And then the positives and the negatives about the situation we want to be in? How many people put a 1 in the chat if you remember that process we've been doing it the last 2 weeks? Okay. It's a very, very, very important process. And we'll do it again in the future, maybe Tuesday, on some different areas, maybe weight loss. Because when you start to balance out, you already know the benefits of the situation you want to be in. You don't know the negatives, and you need the positive and negative to meet in the middle and make it happen, just like a car battery. The situation you're currently in, you already know the negatives about that. but maybe you never stopped and thought about the positives to that. Okay. So we'll continue to do that until you're at a level where you can do that process on your own. And you want to see some prayers get answered quick. Find the positive and negative charge on both situations, and it'll come together on its own. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, by the way. All right. Now let's talk about this. People are going to typically victims or victors. Okay, losers and winners. Typically, people have a victim mentality or they have a victor mentality. There's a couple people who are kind of in between, but it's not a lot of them. How many people know that most people you come in contact with on your family, in your team, at work, they typically either victims or victors. You know those type of people, and you can put most of the people in your life into one of those two categories. Now, here's the thing, and I need you to understand, we're going to be brutally honest tonight. 70% of the people are already programmed, typically for victimhood, before you ever meet them. Before you ever meet them, that applies for your family, your friends, your kids, your parents, your coworkers, most people. And you're responsible for your kids. If they a certain way, that's probably on you, Chief. So just understand 70% of people, especially in this business, are already programmed one way or the other before you ever meet them. And what I find is, based on actual data and statistics, 70% of those people are programmed not to be winners. Okay. The Bible in chapter 14 of the book of Mark has a cool verse. The poor will be with you always. Another translation says the poor will always be among you. Okay. Some people you can't save. Just understand that concept from a financial, business, health standpoint. Some people you can't save. It's not your fault. It's not they programmed for whatever reason, and the programming is so strong. What did Christ say in the book of Luke, chapter 23? We just went over that in the previous class. In chapter 23 in Luke, what did Christ say? He said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. They're running off programs. They've been programmed. They've been programmed. I've been giving them the word. They don't want to hear it. I get it. They don't know what they're doing. So if you don't understand that about the 70% of people that you're dealing with in this business, you're going to be super frustrated. You're not just dealing with people, you're really dealing with programs. Well, how come they need to lose weight? My family member need to lose weight. They got diabetes, they got cancer, they got this. I'm healthy. I'm telling them about the products. They just want to listen to the doctor. Of course they do. That's their program. That's their program. If you can just accept the fact that you're typically dealing with programs, not just people, you're dealing with the programs of the people, and they can't hear what you're saying. They just can't do it. 70% of them can't do it. Can't fix it. I know you want to because you have a heart for people. You wouldn't be in this industry otherwise, but you can't do it. So if you can accept the fact that you're seeing programs, not just people, you'll understand why talk of financial freedom or robust health or having fun and personal development, you'll understand why none of that registers with them. Okay? You just listen, if you're on this call, you have made a decision to shift from default to design. You've made that decision already. You wouldn't be here otherwise. You wouldn't be in Las Vegas. You wouldn't be attending online if you had not already made a decision to shift from default to design. Okay? Most people cannot make that shift. Some people are meant to wake up, and most people won't. Okay, well, what does it say? Many are called, but few are what? Who knows that? Who knows that wisdom? Many are called, but few are what? Chosen. Chosen. Okay. So if I have a gift, and I feel like I have some gifts from God, I have some gifts. One of the gifts that I do know I got from God for sure is I have learned to work with things the way they are. You just cannot change people. People have to change themselves, but you can't, no amount of information you ever give them is really going to change. And maybe 1% of the time that might happen. If that they was really open, they was already on the path to kind of waking up about making money online and understanding the 9 to 5 is not really what you think it is for most people. It's very rare. Okay. Think about the war on drugs. When we were kids, there was the war on drugs. Don't smoke pot, don't do this. There was all of that stuff going on back then. And it was billions of dollars spent on the war on drugs. Do you know that war was lost many years ago? And in fact, marijuana and everything else is almost legal now. Y'all understand that? Like they were trying to convince people with just information and facts and statistics and this and that, and the government couldn't do it with a $50 billion budget. You think you about to convince everybody in your Facebook timeline that they need to have some essential oils to clean up and purify the blood inside their body? You think you written? Okay. You got to make peace with it. 70% of people will not make it. And I'm going to tell you why that's relevant to you shortly. But at this moment, those 70% of people, just hear me out. They do not have the ability or the desire to change. And you got to make peace with that. You want to be good in this business? You got to make peace with that sooner than later. Make peace with what, Will? You got to make peace that 70% of people are going to die broke. That's it. That's it. At this moment, they do not have the ability nor the desire for any type of change. You, my friends, are not in the convincing business. You're not in the convincing business. I listen, you got friends that can't stand President Trump. You cannot convince them otherwise. You got friends that couldn't stand President Biden, couldn't stand him. The greatest criminal of all time. Listen, whatever they say, you can't convince nobody of nothing. Get over that. You got people who's like, I wouldn't get a vaccine. If you paid me to get a vaccine, I wouldn't get a vaccine. Then you got other people. We all got friends like this. I need all the vaccines. Give me 26 of them. They got a new one, a booster. I need that. I need, because that's their understanding. It's not right or wrong. It's just what they believe. It's their program. And you, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, you're not going to change them one way or the other. You're not going to change them one way or the other. You just people are programmed. How many people we got on here that's Steelers fans? We got the Pittsburgh Steelers fans on here. I don't know why they even be on these calls. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, put Steeler in the chat. Let me see how many of these goofy Pittsburgh Steelers fans got on here. My Ravens is not doing good these last 2 weeks. I'm not even watching the game right now. I'm on this call. Yeah, we got a lot of Steelers fans on the call. Listen, I can't fix them. I can't fix them. I've been trying. I've been on it. It's irrelevant. I can't fix them. Marcus and Seymour and Greta and just Twyla. Oh my! I can't do nothing for them. And see, I got to work with it the way it is. I'm not. They know I'm just messing with them. I gotta give them the blue. That's my people. I love them. They know I love my Steelers fans. All right. But that being said, we're not in the convincing business. And let's move on to why everything we just talked about so far is important. Okay. Joynice, not you too. Not you too. Oh, these Steelers fans. Y'all something else. That is a passionate group. I wish. Never mind. All the Steelers. Okay, here we go. Can be 7. Missy said Detroit. They about to put her off the call. She said, look, I didn't even know Detroit had a football team. That's crazy. I thought they closed it when Calvin Johnson left. Yeah, Market, who? Detroit. She said Detroit. That's crazy work right there. Oh, golly. Who is that even? Thank you. The Patriots, I can rock with the Patriots. All right, here we go. People can be, and this applies to everybody, me and you too, this next part. People can be 70%ers in one area and 3%ers in another. There may be some parts of your life where you are just die-hard convinced nobody can talk you in or out of anything you believe, and that's no problem. That's no problem. The only time it becomes a problem is when you're in this business and you're talking to people that are 70%ers in the world of finance and health and trying to change them. But all of us have some areas in our lives where we just not going to hear no sense and no data about nothing. Just no. Just no. I'm not taking any other information. So just understand that. Okay. Now, here's one of the mistakes that a lot of leaders in training make that I am begging you. I am imploring you not to make. I've wasted so many years and so much time and so many dollars on this one mistake. This could save some of y'all right now. Here's a huge mistake that people typically make early, not early in their career necessarily, but when they're starting to really have the desire and the ability to become a leader and top earner in this industry. Okay. Early leadership mistake: spending too much time with the wrong people, especially early in your leadership career when you have the most energy. You have the most energy earlier in your career. Not like with anything, okay? It's like that with kids. Kids got energy. You get to 40, 50, 60, and 70, you may not stay up all night like the kids do. It's different, all right? It's different. No different in network marketing, all right? That early leadership mistake of spending too much time with the wrong people when you have your most energy that you can use to build the proper foundation for a business, it'll kill you. It'll kill you. The drainer, yeah, you can't do that, okay? Spending too much time early in your career with 70 percenters who are never going to get it, never going to build it, never going to change. I don't care what they say. I want to make more money. I want to be healthy. Sure, you do. We don't believe you because your actions are totally, totally different. Do not, and it's okay. Do not spend time with those individuals. You can plug them into the calls, let them know the call schedule, let them know when the next event is, and on to the next. Right. Thank you, Jess. Watch the feet, not the lips. That's a fact. Okay. Because remember, many are called, few are chosen. You obviously were chosen. You obviously made that decision for yourself about, I want to change some aspects of my life. Douglas, that one hit close. There it is. Shake the dirt off your sandals. Douglas, are you and Greta in the Bible personal development group? Or no? If not, y'all should have been, man. We'll do it. We almost done. We in the New Testament now, but thank you. I should have. Maybe y'all weren't here when we started that. I have no idea. Next time we do it, y'all got to get in there. All right, next. We'll do it. We'll do it later next year. Probably do another one because it's a lot going on, but it's a fun class. All right. That being said, do not waste chosen energy convincing unchosen people. Well, thank you, Jessica. I think it's amazing too. Do not waste chosen energy convincing unchosen people. Okay, I'll leave that there. I hope y'all got it. Now, if you decide to ignore everything I'm saying, that's okay. You can do that. If you do decide to get into the convincing business, well, thank you, Coach Marcus, and you're not a lawyer, but you want to get into the convincing business, you're going to end up in a network marketing social club, which is people who really love the social atmosphere. They love the training. They're never going to build a business. They're never going to make any income. They're never going to set themselves financially free. It's okay. But they are going to really be part of a really great, fun group of people that probably just hangs out at events, and it's okay. But if that's you, you got to be okay with that being you and understand the truth of that. You got to know to thine own self be true. Okay, to thine own self be true. Because every situation is going to have two sides, right? Rich, poor, victor, victim. You got to choose kind of which one you want to be in. All right. I'll repeat it. Don't waste chosen energy convincing unchosen people. All right. What is repeated is remembered, and what is remembered is repeated. All right. Now, convincing language. How do you know if you're in the convincing business and you shouldn't be? The energy of your conversations with prospects and team members typically sounds like this. You need this. Don't you want this? Here's why you should have this, right? It's that type of stuff, okay? The positive posture language that you really want to use, the energy of it sounds more like, here's what we got. This is what it is. Might be for you, might not be for you, but you can choose. I'm on to the next person or the next post or this, that, or a third. That is a way better way to live. I'll say it again as we start to get toward the end of the call. Convincing language is typically, you need this. Don't you want this? Yeah. Why haven't you done this already? What's the hope? A lot of convincing, a lot of convincing. You already put it out there. Put it out there. And instead of going to the next person to bless them with the opportunity or bless them with the product, you stuck right here spending more time with the wrong people. What the energy you should have is, here's what we got. Might be for you, might not be. You choose. This is what time a Zoom webinar is. This is when Coach Marcus is going to be breaking it all down. This is when Coach Tina is going to be talking about the product. This is what we got. Might be for you, might not be. Thanks for listening. Your choice. There's some other people I gotta talk to. There's another me out there somewhere that's broke, divorced, down and out, living check to check, who needs this. And I'm never gonna get to the next me if I'm sitting here dealing with the 70 percenters. You cannot do that. You just can't, okay? Last thing I'll give you, and this is huge. This is okay? Because wherever you're at in your life, it's on you. You may not be responsible for where you currently are in your life 100%. Things happen to everybody. You may not be responsible. We're keeping it positive tonight, so we're not going to talk about, how you got there or anything like that. So you may not be responsible for where you are in your life, but you are able to respond. You may not be responsible, not your fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it is. You're not responsible sometimes, but you are able to respond. Yeah. How you respond to it, that's what you control. So if you look at your life tonight, you take some time tonight to have some reflection and some revelation and end up getting some reprogramming going on. The most important book I could ever recommend for you as an individual to read, the most important book that I could ever recommend for you as a person to believe, regardless of what spiritual affiliation, anything, none of that matters. Listen, the most important book I could ever recommend to you tonight to really change everything for most important book, it's just one book, is The Previous Chapters of Your Own Life. If you don't read another book for the rest of your life, you need to read and probably reread the previous chapters of your own life. And so when you're at the mindset you are now, and you look back at all the choices you made one way or the other, and it brings you up to right where you are, you'll understand how it was all you anyway. It was all you. And when it's all you and you take full accountability and with very few exceptions, like some guy got struck by lightning, somebody else was born without a leg. There's some different things. I'm not talking about stuff like that. But for the most part, when you figure out it was all you and you can take full accountability and full responsibility, you have full ability to respond. You cannot give your power away. It's the government's fault. It's this person's fault. It was that's fault. It's history and systematic oppression's fault. I get it. As long as you're giving all that power to all that external stuff, you couldn't even fix it if you wanted to. But when you say, you know what, it's all on me, I'm gonna operate with that. It's all on me for whatever reason. Doesn't matter where I'm at. It's where I'm at. Doesn't matter where I'm at, but that's where I'm at. Okay, and it's on me. I can change it now because it's on me. I can change it. I take responsibility for everything. I'm not blaming nobody. It's on me, and I can fix it because it's me. I can change my entire situation. Okay, and as you read the previous chapters of your own life, what I just said will become crystal clear. All right. So as we end the call, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Short call tonight, but hopefully impactful. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Wednesday, Monday, we got the testimonial call. So that's going to be some heat. It's always some heat. Love that call. You can't fix everybody. Don't try. Accept the 70%, lead the 27%, let the 3% do what they do because you can't change them either. Stop convincing and start posturing. And remember, you not only one of the people that was called, you're one of the people that was chosen. And when I say chosen, I mean you chose to make a decision. Okay, you chose to make a decision that impacts your life and makes that magic happen. Okay, it's all on you. It's all on you how that goes. All right. So your life is, and then the other part, your life is the book. Hold on, what is this? Okay, why do people call when they notice they need to be on the Zoom? Why are they calling me and they're not on the Zoom? That's just crazy. Okay. Your life is the book your team will read. We just want to take that last couple chapters to take it one level deeper. Your life is the book that your team will read. So this next chapter needs to be written with leadership, consistency, clarity, faith. You writing a new chapter right now. And when you understand that your life is the book, your kids gonna read that book. Your team's gonna definitely read that book. Everybody's gonna read that book. Your life is the book that everybody's gonna read. So write your next chapter carefully. Like get it done. Make it a good one. Make it a good one. Okay. So that being said, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Coach Marcus, thank you for putting these Zooms together. Miriam, thank you, my friend from Dallas, for hosting these. Absolutely appreciate you so much. Thank you, Gina. And we will see y'all tomorrow on the same Zoom, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the testimonial call. It's probably the most important call of the week for building belief and seeing how you can really impact lives with these products. I love that call. I highly recommend it. Promote it to everybody you know. It is definitely worth it. All right. Y'all have a good night. God bless. We'll see y'all on the next one.